Hey, I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee at the National Speakers Association conference, promoting my books and getting to meet a bunch of great people. And this morning I went for a swim in the hotel pool, 6 a.m. I was the only person in the pool. Clearly I can swim, so I was in no danger of drowning. But the lifeguard, maybe a 16 or 17-year-old girl, had to walk up and down beside the pool in like a 5-meter lap. Just spin on that end and then turn back and walk back, repeat. Just for half an hour, she was up and back on this spot. And I was just watching her do that and just seeing how crazy that was, because it wasn't necessary, obviously. It wasn't serving a purpose. So I thought I'd ask her about it after I got out of the pool, and she was she was a good sport. She let me ask her some questions, but I said to her, do you know that this is a psychological test that you're under right now? She said, no, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, it is, because this act of walking up and down beside the pool, you actually know is bullshit. Like, you know that it makes no sense. You know that it serves no purpose. You know you've been told to do it by someone who's been told to make you do it. You know that it's not actually a good thing, and you feel icky about it and weird about it, but you kind of have the illusion of no choice. This is just your job, and so you have to do it. But here's the test, right? Because in order to walk up and down, in order to collect a paycheck, you have to pretend that it's okay. You have to lie to yourself. You have this intuition that says that's bullshit, but you've got to pretend that it's not bullshit and that you have no choice. And that's a test, because if you do that there, then where else will you do it? And when else will you do it? This might be your first opportunity in life to notice what it's like when someone asks you to do something that makes no sense and you feel like you've got no choice but to obey. And so you'd think that the point is then bosses shouldn't ask people to do things that make no sense. But that's not how the world works. Bosses will forever ask employees to do things that make no sense. Politicians will ask or demand citizens to do things that make no sense. Friends, family, like the world will demand that you do things that are wrong. And if you can't hear your own honesty, or you hear it and suppress it, if your bullshit meter gets broken, that's dangerous for you as a human being. That has some significant implications for your future. So I said to her, you're 16 or 17, here is a big test that will determine a lot about your future. So pay attention to this voice. So I think it's an important conversation for each of us to examine what are the things that we know aren't right, but we do because we feel like we have to. And sure, obviously there's a cost, because her boss might come in later on and she'll tell him to stick his job, and now she's unemployed. But is that the only job in the history of the world that she could do? Of course not. To feel that you're stuck in a position and you have to do the stuff that you know isn't right, and that is costly to your soul. And eventually, if you keep ignoring that voice, it will cost you everything.